going on, everybody? This is Joe with the Booking Lab and Dana Joe & Co. And today I'm going to be talking about, are Google Ads worth exploring for your photography business? Now, Google Ads, let's be honest, just they're overlooked. They're not talked about often. Really, the hot thing right now is Facebook ads, Instagram ads, things like that. So I kind of wanted to explore and kind of go against the grain and say, why not try Google? And I'm going to get into a little bit about the why behind this, why Google is something worth exploring, and then I'll show you kind of what I've done so far, and then we'll talk about a little bit of the what, right? I will not get into the how very much today. This is going to be very big picture. If this is something that interests you or you want to see more trainings on this, I would be happy to, do more training. I am recording this for both YouTube and Facebook Live, so if I look down on my phone, it's because I'm checking comments. So bear with me. What's up, David? What's going on? So honestly, when it comes to Google, like I've done Google Ads for other businesses, so I've had experience with Google Ads. Really, Google Ads are very easy. They're very simple. If you've ever run a Facebook ad, it's honestly almost the same exact thing, except there's a few settings in there that are kind of like, I got you, right? But at the end of the day, there's really not that much different. And honestly, I think Google's easier because I don't have to come up with all this ad creative, right? It's literally like one or two headlines and then a sentence or two, and then that's your ad. I don't have to do pictures. I don't have to do videos. I don't have to do all of this stuff. All right. So from that perspective, it's very simple. The other beautiful thing too is if you set up and you run your first Google ad, you set up your account, you run your first Google ad, Google always gives you like $100 or $150 ad credit just to get started, right? So you have $150 out there, just go on Google and type in Google ad credit, and you can get yourself 150 free ad dollars that you can go out there and you can spend today. So that's another beautiful benefit as well. But I'm going to get right into the why of running Google Ads. You got to realize people are on social media, Facebook, right? Because they're connected with friends and they're looking for things to be entertained, and they're just scrolling their feed, right? So if I'm running a Facebook ad on there for my photography business, I need to be very creative in getting that person's attention. How do I get them to stop scrolling, take a second and look and be like, oh yeah, you know what, I am looking for a wedding photographer, or oh, this is interesting, I kind of like their work, right? Because, for me, I'm just going to use wedding photographer as an example because that's what I am, but this is the same regardless of what niche of photography that you're in. If the person's scrolling through their feed and, and they're engaged, right, they're probably seeing all these types of ads. They may not be wanting to really look at photographers at the time. They might be just getting done work, so on and so forth. With Google, they have what is search intent. And what search intent is, basically, is when you go to Google, you're looking for something specific, right? You think about the last thing that you Googled. When I go on there, I'm looking for a specific piece of information. So if you as a photographer can get inside of that person's head and say, how can I run an ad? How can I position an ad? And go after the things that my ideal client is searching, and I position it and put it in front of them, my chances of being seen and clicked on is significantly higher than if it was on Facebook. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that in a second. So what I did is I sat down and I said, all right, if I just got engaged and I'm going through wedding planning, the first thing that almost all couples look at is they'll pick a date, and then typically they're going after a venue or a wedding planner, right? So they start looking at venues. Now, if you've ever sat down and done a Google search for a local venue, you'll see typically that really there's no ads being run for that venue, right? So couples are searching. Let's just say for me, the example that I used was Villa Siena. So I'm gonna search Villa Siena wedding because my friend got married there. I'm interested in it, and then I'm gonna Google it. I'm gonna pull it up, and then there I go, right? What if I, as a photographer, have a guide for that venue, right? What if I have a write-up? I do a video interview. I got this beautiful landing page. It has pictures of weddings that I've shot there. I talk about the pros and cons of that venue. I guarantee that page may almost be better, if not just as good, as the venue's website itself, right? So I'm trying to create a piece of content that, if a bride was to go to it, is more helpful than the venue itself. So, so what I did is I looked up local venues that I want to shoot more weddings at, and I basically created a Google ad targeting those wedding venues. So when someone types in Villa Siena wedding, the first result that they see is my ad. And what's really cool about that is I posted some results in the group. The click-through rate initially was 15%. Now I'm sitting around the 7 or 8% mark. So it started out really good. Now it kind of like ebbed and flowed. But I was getting 15% click-through rate on Facebook. A good click-through rate on an ad is 1%, right? So what I'm trying to do here is just kind of paint the picture of what the difference is in the ad platforms and realizing what's going on between the two. So Google is people searching for a very specific term, and if you can serve them up the best piece of content over everything else, it is easier for them to find you, right? Like, that person. Like, why else would you be typing in Villa Siena wedding, right? Unless you're interested in getting married there. It's a very specific way, and I can target people by age range, by location, and also by demographic, just like I can on Facebook. It's no different than Facebook. Obviously I can't type in couples getting engaged, but I do that by the keywords that they're searching for. And in this scenario that I'm using, it is the venues, right? So, Thomas, so David, David, the number one objection I always hear is I don't click on the ads. Okay, I don't always click on the ads either. You guys need to change your perspective on, you need to take yourself out of the equation. I know a lot of people who do things because they themselves don't do it. Hey, I'm afraid to raise my wedding photography prices because I don't even think I would spend that much on wedding photography, right? You guys got to realize marketing is not about you. It's about your customer. It's about your client. Is what are they doing, right? David, the fact that I ran a Google ad and people are clicking on the ad proves the fact that people click on that stuff, right? 15% click-through rate. It is absolutely proof that people, when they see the ad, they click on it, right? That's a better click-through rate than I've ever gotten on Facebook for any ads that I've run in for wedding photography ads, right? So that's the proof right there. So whenever you're thinking about doing some kind of marketing or some kind of whatever to grow your business and get clients' attention, take yourself out of it, take your behavior pattern out of it, and think about, where are my people spending time? What's their behavior? What are they trying to do? The more that you can put yourself in their shoes and understand their problems and their unique issues and what they're going through, the better you are to be able to put yourself in front of them and bring them in as leads. Now, I'm going to go over to the actual Google ad interface itself, and I'll kind of show you some stuff in what I'm doing on the back end. But essentially what I am trying to do is basically I am trying to get people to click over to my website using Google. I know these people are searching for wedding venues. They're clicking on my ads. They're coming to my website. Now, have I gotten leads yet? No, I have not. But what I am doing, if you've heard me talk about this before, is you have to have a Facebook pixel on your website, because here's what's happening. People are clicking on these venues, they're coming over, they're checking out the blog post. Cool, that's interesting. They now know I exist. Now I can run Facebook retargeting ads for $2 a day, super cheap, because they visited my website. Facebook knows exactly who to show this ad to once they're over on Facebook. Now I can show them a different ad on Facebook. So now the person's clicked on my ad, went to my website, they're like, okay, cool, I found this person on Google, they're interesting, they go and life happens. Now they're seeing me in Facebook, now they're like, oh, look, there he is again, right? And I'm going to show them an ad. And then in a couple of weeks, I'm going to change the ad, I'm going to make it different, and I'm going to show them a different ad. What I'm going to do is keep showing up in front of them over and over again. And it's this seasoning process. And what I'm doing is I'm running video ads so I can see how much of a percentage of the video is being watched. So if someone clicks my Google ad, watches 95% of my video, watches another 95% of my video, this person's probably really interested, right? So you start out with this huge pool of people. You got 100 people, and then you're funneling them down until finally you have this hot client who's ready to book you, right? So right now, I'm not putting a lot of, I don't know what the word I am. The results I'm getting is basically, it's the holiday season, right? We're 2 weeks away from Christmas. Like, if I don't get leads out of this, like, I'm not going to be heartbroken. I realize we're going into Christmas time, and people are just probably not in wedding planning mode right now, right? They're in, crap, I need to shop for the holidays kind of a mode. So what I'm really honestly trying to do right now is just try and build up my pool of potential customers, right? My potential leads. And what I'm trying to do is gain interest by running these Google ads, getting people to click to my website. It's almost like, I laugh and I joke and say it's like Pokemon, right? So I'm trying to collect these people, because every time they come to my website, I now have them and I can track them wherever they go, right? So I want these people that I can track. And I'm trying to build this up so that once the holiday season's over, then I can go a little bit heavier on the ads and asking for them to reach out to me and book me, right? But right now, all I'm showing them is just helpful content. I'm showing them blog posts, I'm showing them videos, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing here in a second. Yeah, Ashley, Ashley brings up a great point. You know, you think about what you spent on wedding photography. Just because that's what you spent or what other people have spent doesn't mean that other people have spent. I mean, that has been the hardest thing in our business, is increasing pricing, because we always use ourselves as a measuring stick, but you can't. You got to realize people are willing to pay for photos, and they're willing to pay good money, right? So our average booking is $4,300, right? People pay that amount. Would I pay that amount for photography? Probably not. I don't know if I would, unless I was absolutely in love with the photographer, right? So it doesn't mean other people would. Dana says she would. So, all right. So here's what I'm doing. If you've never been in Google Ads Manager before, again, guys, do not get sidetracked with what this stuff looks like. Don't get sidetracked with like all the specifics. What I really want to show you what's going on is just kind of a little bit about how Google Ads Manager is set up, and then kind of the ads that I have set up and what I'm doing, right? So if you look on the left-hand side here, if you're familiar with Facebook and how they do it, think of this right here, right? I got venues and I got website traffic. Basically, I'm trying to get people to visit my website. It's the same thing as running a traffic ad on Facebook. So this right here, this top button, is what is the campaign. So this is the same thing as the campaign inside of Facebook Ads Manager. This button right here is the same thing as an ad set inside of Facebook Manager. And then down here is the actual ad. As in Facebook Ads Manager, it would be an ad, right? So you got campaign, ad set, and then ad. And basically what I'm doing is I'm saying, Google, I want you to show this ad for anybody who is searching for this venue. So Paseo Wedding Venue Phoenix, the Paseo Wedding Venue, right? I like this wedding venue. I want to shoot more weddings there. I want to show my ad to people who are searching for this term. So I'm basically telling Google that whoever searches for this, I want you to serve my ad up to them. So if I come back here, you're going to see that your ad is basically the same thing. It looks like a search result. So let's go down to this one. So Villa Sienna, I just started running this one, so you'll see it only has 6 impressions so far. I started this one last night, so I haven't had any clicks yet. So if I come over here and I do a Google search for Villa Sienna wedding, right? I don't know why I cut it off. There it goes. Whoop. Oh, it just had it. Let's say, so it stopped showing my ad. So I might be out of ad budget for the day. So when you run out of ad budget, it stops showing it for the day. But before I got on the live, my ad was showing. They may have turned it off. But here's exactly what the ad looks like. So must see Villa Sienna wedding venue inspiration. Inside you'll find full wedding day photos, a list of vendors who made the day magical. Planning your wedding here, take a look at what your wedding day could be. So basically the way I'm positioning this is, hey, are you interested in seeing a no kidding what a wedding looks like here? Like if I were to go to a wedding venue website, like I want to picture what is this venue all about? How do I envision my day? What's involved with planning? Like, is this a good spot for me to even spend my money here? So I wanted them to come over to my website. So if they click this link, right? So if they click on this ad, I'm basically telling them send them to this link. And in this link is basically a blog post to the Villa Sienna wedding, right? So I got this right up. It's a big long story, and then it goes into all the photos. And then at the bottom, we talk a little bit about the bride and groom rooms, the ceremony, reception. Then we tag all the vendors. And then we even have a little bit of a YouTube video where we do the full photo reveal, right? So it's a pretty comprehensive blog. And the entire point, like I said before, is to show them what a no-kidding wedding looks like at their, if they were to book this venue. Now, ideally, in the future, as I shoot more weddings there, I'm going to modify that blog. I'm going to put, instead of just one wedding there, I'm going to put multiple weddings there. Because let's say a bride goes to that blog and she doesn't really identify with that couple, right? They're kind of like, that's really not me. It's not my style. Well, let's say you had 3 or 4 weddings that you could showcase there. 1, it shows your authority that you shoot there often. And 2, my ultimate goal is to continue to add more helpful content to that. So maybe I'll interview a wedding coordinator that works there, and I'll put that interview on that page. Maybe I'll do my own little, maybe Dana and I will sit down and we'll do our own little video of us saying, hey, here's what we loved about the venue. Here's some things that we feel are maybe missing. If you're planning your day, here are some things to look out for, right? The entire point of you running advertising and to get people to book you is to make yourself the authority. And the way that you make yourself the authority is by sharing knowledge that isn't easily accessible or isn't easily found, or a beginner photographer may not have, right? So when you can show that you can sit down and clearly communicate why this wedding venue is a great place to have your wedding there, and actually show photos that you've shot there, you've instantly become the authority and the person to go to when it comes to shooting their wedding, and build that trust, right? So Google Ads right now, the way that I have it set up is I am doing literally $6 a day. That's it. And you'll see kind of the results I had down here. I turned this one off because I like the ad that I had written here. But you'll see 7.6 click-through rate, I got 17 clicks so far for a cost of 36. So the average cost per click, it started out really good, and then it kind of increased a little bit. So I'll be interested to kind of see how it works out. When running Google Ads, it's kind of a rule of thumb that you want to run it for 30 days. Google really takes a long time for it to optimize because it needs data, right? It needs data for it to get good and to be able to do what it needs to do. So I'm going to let this run for a month. And basically what I'm trying to do is build up my pool of people that are clicking to my website, because here's what I'm doing on the back end. So you guys might be thinking, wow, you know, that's kind of expensive, you know, $2 cost per click, but the click-through rate's high. But here's what I'm doing on the back end. I am showing a retargeting ad, and basically what it is it's a video. And what Dana and I do is when our couples come over, we take all the best photos from their wedding, and we basically put together a video, and we call it their video reveal. So now I load this up into Facebook, and I basically write a little post saying, "Hey, check out." Internet is running slow. All right. So I just do a little thing here, a little write up, and then I put the video so you can see what this video looks like. And basically what I'm trying to do is get those people who are clicking on my Google ad in my website. I am now retargeting them with a video. And I want to show you something. Look at that click-through rate. It's a 9.3% click-through rate. It's higher than Google right now. And look at the cost per click, 13 cents. I'm literally paying 13 cents for someone to click. And the reason you can get these stats and these numbers is because I am targeting people who have already interacted with our brand, right? So everything I'm talking about is advanced stuff, but this is how online marketers, this is the foundation of online marketing. You get people to visit you on the website, you get people to click, you get people to find out who you are, and then you retarget them because you have the ability to do so because they visited your website via the Facebook pixel. So now you have they're in your ecosystem. Now you can sit there and you can hit them with Facebook ads, left and right. You can hit them with more Google ads. You can hit them with YouTube ads, all that stuff, right? But for right now, what I'm doing is just getting people who are searching wedding venues, visit my blog posts, and then hit them on the back end with Facebook with video reveals, testimonials, and then eventually what I'm going to do is have a video of Dana and I saying, if you need a wedding photographer, let's talk. Here's how to contact us today, right? So I know there's a lot of people out there right now, the hot thing is Facebook ads. And what they're doing is brute force ads, which is essentially saying, look at me, I'm Joe Schmo photographer, hire me, fill out my contact form, right? So you're doing this to a cold audience. They don't know who you are. People are spending a lot of money doing that. Whereas this is more of I call it the slow cooker method, right? So you're warming these people up to who you are, you're warming them up to your brand, and then eventually you're asking for the sale. So that is everything in a nutshell. If you guys found this interesting, please comment, let me know. Let me know if you'd like to see more videos. I can go more into the how to set this stuff up. Google Ads seems scary. It took me a little while in the beginning to kind of figure it all out. But honestly, once you figure out the formula, it is extremely quick and easy to set up. The only thing the thing that takes the most time and the hardest part is where you're sending them to. So the blog post, creating an awesome blog post or an awesome landing page that really converts. So let me know if you guys got questions before I hop off. But I just wanted to show you guys Google Ads and kind of bring awareness to it to see if this is something that's right for you, right? So I'm going to continue to test this. I'm going to continue to track results. I'll keep you guys updated as we continue on into the new year. I'm not really expecting anything crazy. I'm not really expecting to get inquiries from this, especially being so close to Christmas. However, in January, I do expect to accelerate this this ad method and really going hard in trying to generate leads using this. So, and I'll be happy to share all that with you guys. So, if you got any questions, let me know. Otherwise, that is what I'm doing with Google Ads right now. I am finding keywords that I feel that my couples are looking for, engaged couples, and then I am putting myself in front of them, and then I am allowing them to click and come over to a website to interact with our brand, at which point I am then able to continue to stay in front of them and stay top of mind. Hope you guys have a great day. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.